Hey everybody, it's Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Evospace. I got a bit of a preamble here before we dive in. So first, thank you to everybody who's been watching this series and has been patient for me to respond to your comments. I tried to explain in some of the comments to some viewer questions that for this particular series, I had recorded several episodes in advance for a couple of reasons. One, the Foundry series that I had right before this one kind of went on longer than I thought it was. And so I had started recording this series in parallel with that one, and then Foundry just kept going on and on and on. Anyway, so that resulted in having a lot of episodes queued up but not posted. And then I also was trying to make some time for a very, very large video project that I want to put together for you guys. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten started on it. It's going to be a multi-week, full-time kind of project to put it together. We'll see if it happens. I want to talk about it and promise it before I can do it. But that is one of the reasons why it's taken so long. But this episode, we are finally on the upgraded version, 18.1. Finally. I've also got I've taken a bunch of notes here from the comments from the last, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 episodes. And then hopefully I can go through these. I don't know if I'll get through them all in this episode, but I want to kind of work my way through these either in this episode or the next few episodes so I can, respond to the comments you guys have made and the suggestions. And man, suggestions are always, always welcome. Tips are always, always welcome. I'm less eager to hear, oh, you should do it this way. I'd rather hear, hey, here's how I do it, or have you considered this or that? Because everybody's got like a different play style. So it's hard for me to, follow someone else's play style when I've got, several someone else's suggesting things. But anyway, let's in this episode take a survey of the existing factory or factories. Towards the end of last episode, we were setting up what I hope to be a scalable electric power plant. So everything looks okay here. I know recipes have changed. I guess one of the big things that was communicated that I didn't realize is that the atmospheric condensers, I don't think I was told, they don't actually need power to produce water. Let's see here. Okay, it says output is busy. Yeah, it's already got the water. So I've got a generator hooked up here. I'm not going to rework it right this minute, but from the sounds of it, I don't need these motors hooked up to, these engines hooked up to the atmospheric condensers. So we may change that or not, use that approach here. Now, the other thing that's been brought up is we could just pump water, right? Instead of using the atmospheric condensers. Now, I really like the way the atmospheric condensers look, but I think we're going to be able to use these plenty of other places because they do more than just produce water, right? There's a bunch of other gases in here and things that we're going to use these for that do require power. Yes, and here indeed we can see in the recipe, it doesn't take any input. Now, I don't know if I just overlooked that with the previous version or if this is a new thing to 18.1. Doesn't really matter. We will we'll probably get rid of these because, like I said, we'll get to use these elsewhere. And then I kind of like the idea of tapping into this water supply that is literally right next to where we need it. So we'll probably drop some pumps down in here. In this water source to feed our electric power plant. Let's continue to look around. It's been a while since I've recorded an episode of this, so I'm going to be rusty on keystrokes. Another big tip that was provided that is awesome is the whole being able to configure these things to always on lights, right? It looks like it's just taking a single click to do it. That would have been a big help for me to realize and know about earlier, because when we put up four walls like this, the rooms get really dark, right? So my thanks goes to the person who shared that, or the multiple people who shared that. I may actually do all these on camera. just because we're here. I won't do maybe every place where we need to turn lights on permanently. But I will finish this one since we got it started, and it'll look kind of goofy half done. And I'll probably forget if I don't. So yeah, the other thing as I'm doing this that I've got a question on, or an internal question, I'm not sure. Like these coke ovens being kind of indoors is a little goofy. Now I like because they have exhaust, right? And I think I talked in a previous episode about maybe placing copper sheeting. I forget what it's called. Is it called a copper box or something? I think we looked at that. Where was it? I had one. Where is it? Decorative. And again, I'm going to be a little rusty. It was... Where is it? Things may have... Copper casing. I think that was it. Of maybe throwing copper casings up on top of these just to pretend like it's an exhaust duct. And maybe run them out the side. The other thing is I could just have open kind of windows along the top or something where the exhaust kind of escapes. Anyway, just something I'm kind of thinking about. Another common comment that's made in my videos, not just for Evospace, but other factory games in particular, right, is I don't tend to focus on the ratios, like getting perfect ratios between like how many condensers do you need for each tree farm versus each coke oven, etc., and trying to perfect that. I usually don't bother with that unless I run into a snag. Now, I'm definitely outside the norm in that preference. Like I think most people want to kind of optimize. I tend not to worry about it until, like I said, until I'm either bored with the game and I want another challenge or if I really hit a snag, like where I'm not able to move forward because things are just so inefficient, then, and usually only then will I come back in and try and perfect the ratios. So hopefully you can still enjoy this content without too much cringing looking at my inefficient building ratios. In fact, I was thinking before I recorded this episode, and here's another thing where I'm going to be super duper strange compared to probably 99% of the viewers. I would actually prefer it if these things did not tell me what the outputs and input rates were. I would actually prefer having to discover that through experimentation in the game. I kind of enjoy, like experimenting and seeing what happens. Can I do more? Can I stretch it? Or do I need 2 of these things for every one of these? That I get fun out of that, but I can totally understand people who want to, pour over those details, get out the spreadsheet or whatever, and figure out what the perfect ratios are based on these output rates. Anyway, just sharing that. Okay, we did the lights here. Let me jump out, get my bearings. So this is intended to be the scalable coke plant. There was another suggestion saying, hey, just start mining coal from the source or from the ore deposits. Could obviously do that. And I bet, again, that's just something where I'm a little bit more odd in my approach than others. But I figure, in theory, if I were to play this on and on and on, then I would exhaust those coal deposits, where if I do it this way, this is pretty infinite, source of coke. I don't have to, I'm not going to exhaust the tree farms. They're going to keep producing stuff. And once these buildings are placed, I'm not really going to bother with it too much. Whereas, in theory, the coal deposit, if I were to tap into that, would deplete. Now, another thing here is the research tree is dramatically different than what we did last episode. And what you're seeing is me clicking on it for the very first time. So I've not done any kind of playing around with this version of the game before jumping into this episode. So again, it could be a little choppy. I'm kind of doing it on purpose because I want to kind of share that learning experience with you. But again, I can see how that could be totally frustrating while I trip over things and haven't in advance kind of looked at all this stuff for a smoother recording. But again, that's just kind of one of the styles on the channel. Let's go see what else we got going. There were some suggestions about the steel processing that I've got going on here. I'm definitely going to have to take a deeper look at this. I think recipes may have changed on this stuff. It looks like everything is still kind of, at least not glitchy, right? Looks like my save has loaded fine, but I'm probably going to have to revisit all this as well and take a closer look at the recipes and see what's changed here and what we can do better. Same goes for the Coke farm that we just left. I believe there is some byproduct now that we need to handle, right? Is it creosote, I believe? Let's see. Which one would it be? Yeah, here it is, creosote. So that's new from when I last did this. So we're going to have to get rid of that. We'll look into that later. Does this guy do it as well? Yes. Steel oven, but I don't even remember making these out of steel. Maybe I did. Okay, yeah, that guy, the coal production looks like it's dumping out creosote, as is the Coke. All right, so then we're going to have to pipe out or do something with. I think there were some suggestions on specific things I could do with that. We'll get into that, but for now, we're just going to walk through and talk about all the issues that I need to solve or that I'm aware of. And if there's things that I miss in this little rambling narrative, feel free to put them in the comments and I will try to respond the next time I record a batch of these episodes. Heat pipes, my understanding of the change here is that these now lose significantly more heat as you extend them further and further. I'm not sure if they lost heat in the previous version, but they're losing heat now. So there's some efficiency there. It's kind of a bummer because I really like the way these look. And I'd like to have reasons to extend them further than reasons to keep them short. Computers. Let's take a look at the research tree again. Now, I thought I read someone say in the comments that there's no more research that requires just electricity. Now, I may have misinterpreted that. Let me take a look at the research tree. Okay, current research is nothing. Let's see. I guess I can go into the computer, right, is what I really want to look at. Oh, yeah, it's very different. Okay, let's see. Creates research points. So there is no electricity circuits. So I'm looking at this for the first time. Quantum brain. That's very new. Yeah, I think quantum processor was the biggest one in the last version. Okay, local resources. Creates research points. Consumes electricity. Computations per second, 1.5. Power input, electricity drain. All that's fine. Let's go back to the tech tree. Maybe that is what I need to do. So there's no real recipe here. I don't think. Can I pick these? No. All right. So no more picking research on or recipes on the computers, it looks like. So that could be a simplification from the old system. Let me jump back into the tech tree and I'll have to learn some hotkeys because I'm probably going to do this inefficient. All right. Oh, and my color blindness is going to come in here strong because this is going to be a little difficult. Let's see, just out of curiosity, if there's any kind of colorblind mode here. Resolution, full screen. I don't see a colorblind mode. Performance. Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. So there may be a bit of struggle while I try to perceive colors that my eyes do not let me see. But we'll get through it. It may not be that bad, actually. All right, let's jump back in the tech tree. Okay, what do we got going here? This is done, and as I understand it, are there multiple? No, this is what's required. So that looks to be done. Okay, required by and requirements. Okay, I'm just looking to see if these stack. I see a 1 of 3 here, right? So, okay, Okay, smelting 1 of 3. And I'm guessing... Okay. Okay, so down here at the bottom right, it's showing me what's needed. Computations. 32. So let's see. Oh, shoot. Are these computations like in different colors? I noticed they're in different positions. Can't tell if they're different colors or not, or why there are different positions on the icon here on the block. Okay, produced by computers, build computer, and power it with electricity to produce computations. Sure. Where is like the high-end stuff? Yeah, I can't tell. Can't tell. Again, I'm not going to put too much thought into what I'm picking. I'm just going to select one and see if this guy starts researching. It looks like it's not a problem. Okay, research complete. Yippee-doo. Can I do it again? Smelting 3. Right, now this feels like a super duper simplification, almost like too much. Right? Steel smelter, copper smelter, stone smelter. 2. Okay, smelting complete. So I guess that's telling me this whole thing's complete. Multi-tool. These are all, I guess, the different levels. Can I just research this? So this is kind of puzzling. I apologize for spending a lot of time on this, but this is puzzling to me. It just seems like a huge, huge simplification, not what I was expecting. But I strongly suspect I'm going to run into a situation where I can't just keep going. Can I really just keep Oh, what is this? Where did... Okay, so I saw some circuits, right, getting used, and we have circuits being produced and fed into some of our computers, the level 1 circuits. But how is it that I am supposed to see what that requirement is? I know it's probably obvious. It's right in front of me, and you guys are shouting at the screen. But how is it that I would know that I required those circuits ahead of time? Is it just a matter of clicking on this? Let's wait till... I'm going to wait till this one's done. Take a sip of water. All right, research multi-tool complete. Now, if I click this again, remaining research cost. So how do I, where was I? I didn't even know how I got to that, to tell the truth. Let's see. I can hear my graphics card fan on fire here, so I don't know if the new version has huge optimizations or not, but my graphics card doesn't seem to notice. Current research. I don't know what I'm looking at here, right? Required by these two. Are these the levels? This looks like it's what it's unlocking. Yeah, these are right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the 7 levels. I don't know what the little 2 is. And how can I tell? 128 computations. Yeah, I don't know what this is telling me. As far as like which ones require. Oh, here we go. Now this one shows circuits. Circuits 8, circuit 16. Let's do another drawing here. I'm just like shows circuit up here. Is that from the last one? Yeah, I guess so. Here come the computations to get us to the next level drawing. Seems like we're able to whip through a lot more research than we were able to at the end of the last episode. Boom. This does look a lot cleaner. The tech tree looks a lot cleaner. Again, I apologize for spending a bunch of time in this. Okay, now we see the circuits. Okay. So what we're going to see in this screen, I'm just talking to myself, sharing what I am concluding. So this screen is just going to, oh, wow, there's a lot more to it than I was looking at. Interesting. All right. The scroll wheel is backwards from what I would assume in terms of the zooming in here, but take it. Very different. But yeah, I was going to finish my thought here. So it's showing us the top level one, and then I guess this is showing what we need here in the corner. So this looks like basic computations, and then once you get to a certain level, it'll show you need circuits, advanced circuits, processors. All right, it's starting to make more sense to me. Apologize for the delay. I guess we should just keep picking our research here to keep things moving. I'll just grab something at random. Okay, let's get out of that for a while. We'll come back and get into that in more depth. Here's our very first little headquarters setup. Modest but functional. How are we doing on building blocks? Oh my gosh, got plenty. Foundations. Let's go take a look at the copper mine. Boom. At some point I need to connect a path here and make this look better. There's our lights. I do like the way this building looks off to the right. And then, yeah, getting back to the topic of putting the coke ovens indoors versus just leaving them out where they can vent freely. I'm half wondering if putting things in buildings helps with the rendering. Like, I know that was a big part of another game, Fortress Craft Evolved, if you're familiar with that one. We got a little graphical glitch here. I think we saw that before. This little dude. Yeah, I think we've seen that one before. Yeah, but in Fortress Craft Evolved, it helped performance if you put your machines and enclose them in rooms. And supposedly that helped the rendering performance. I don't know if the same thing applies in Evospace or not. The machines in this game, to me, look awesome either way, whether they're indoors or outdoors. But, you know, I just got done playing Foundry, and I put everything outdoors, out in the open, every single machine. So I was kind of thinking for this series, it might be fun to change that up and put more things in buildings. And then also change things up by trying to build more vertically rather than just kind of sprawling out. Even though we got tons of space, you don't need to do vertical, I don't think. There's tons of space, but I want to try for the extra challenge to go vertical in these little factories here. Another reason for that, other than just the variety, is I think after this series, I think I want to do Satisfactory. Now that's obviously a super duper popular game. I don't know from a YouTube channel standpoint if it's wise or not to play a game like that when there's already so much content. But I kind of don't care because I want to play it. So, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that content as well. All right, yeah, here's our coke facility. We got the same problem here, right? We're going to have to dump off this creosote. And then much of this, we may be able to get rid of this unless we have a true need for coal out this way other than for power generation. Because what I really, really want to do is run power lines underneath this bridge from our power plant. And literally have a mega power plant kind of in one location on the map. Maybe unwise. Maybe unwise to do it. But that's the theory, or that's my intent, is to have one mega power plant and then run electric cable everywhere and kind of have a network of that. Now, where to run that cable, underground, or to try and come up with like some kind of decorative blocks that will substitute for a power pole. I don't know if there is anything. While we're at it, here's a screwdriver. This is another tip someone mentioned. We can use this to rotate buildings once we've got it crafted and in our hotbar, I suppose. I'm going to hold off on doing it just because right now I need some inventory upgrades. You can see I'm kind of full up at the moment, so I don't want to grab another thing. Let's see what else we got. Circuits production. Oh, let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. I want to see if the recipe for any of this stuff has changed. So what's the fastest way to do that? Here's our circuit boards. Circuit boards are just wood going through a cutting machine. So why do I have 2? Do I need 2? That's right. That's what I have here. I'm going to have to pitch something. Let's grab this iron ore, and I can't believe I actually remembered the keystroke for that. I want to grab something off of here and just pop this in here just so I can take a look. Okay, to produce these, okay, it's planks. I got it. And then planks probably is wood going through a cutter. All right, so that recipe looks like it's fine. We don't need to change anything here, except we found out that we don't really need this. We've actually got water not too far from here if we didn't want to use the atmospheric condenser. So maybe, should we start ripping out some of this stuff? Let's see. Let's not. Let's leave it the way it is. I might be wasting power, obviously, with the heat pipes here. But I'm going to leave this Stirling engine hooked up to the water condenser or atmospheric condenser, fully understanding that that's not necessary, just because it would be very boring to watch. And there could be a point where we're going to rip all this up and do something a little more scalable down the road. How about these? What do we got? These are circuits. Let me, I know there's an easier way, but I'm going to just pull one off the belt. Just so I have something to middle click on. Again, I'm sure there's a super duper easier way to do it, but that works right now. All right. That looks fine, right? Circuit boards and copper wire. Looks familiar. That recipe looks safe and fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about with this entire setup. Yeah, that one I think is good. And then this is copper wire. This thing is still producing and it's spitting them out as we see, as we watch. Nothing to worry about there. So that's all fine. Again, I think the optimizations here might be... Well, shoot, we don't even need... I guess replacing these Stirling engines with motors and cutting over to electric power instead of, you know, the heat or the heat-based power. Just electricity to a motor and use that for the kinetic energy. Now, someone also mentioned the flywheels to distribute kinetic energy. We will see about that. The degree to which I use the flywheels, or if I just throw more motors down, even though that's like super duper inefficient, or not leveraging the full capacity of the motors. We'll figure out what looks the nicest or what looks best, what seems easiest, and probably do it that way. Again, it may not be the most optimal, but I'm just playing for fun here. Here is our copper mine. Lots of suggestions, or several suggestions about this one. I've been just storing up copper ingots because I can turn those into wire or copper chests or heat pipe, whatever I want, kind of on the fly. But it was suggested that There's only a few products that we really need out of copper for a good long time. And that maybe it makes best sense to just have a chest full of those few products, like one for cables, one for the other stuff I mentioned, heat pipes. Here's some copper ore I somehow got in my hand. Let me get rid of that. I don't need it. So yeah. So then, aside from kind of reworking recipes, and it seems like the main one's going to be like the coke farm, right? Getting rid of the creosote in our coke farms. Probably leave this particular atmospheric condenser here. That water's not real far away, but I think I'm going to stick with it because this is such a tiny site setup that until I know if we're going to scale it out here or not, then I'll stick with this. And then once we decide we got to scale it out, that'll be a good point to like reconsider the whole design and maybe then pipe the water. But I do at the coke facility, I do want to switch that over to using water, probably exclusively, and trying out those pumps. So what do we got? We got the one thing I guess I did not look at as deeply as I wanted to. I probably just started babbling. Was the recipes over here. I know there was some discussion on this. Where's that light coming from? Ooh, I bet it's shining through the underground. So that's a little bit of a glitch, right? This should not have these reflections. I think that's coming from down here. So a little bit of a glitch there. Now, this process does need coke, right? As an ingredient, not as a power source, but like as an ingredient. Oh, the other thing that people talked about was the jetpack, right? Why in the world am I neglecting the jetpack or steam pack? What does this take? Can we craft this? I gotta grab circuits. Was just over by the circuits. And I'm no longer by the circuits. I got to try to remember to make this and try it out. So that's another suggestion. And it's one that keeps popping in my mind and then I forget about it. The light is new as well. So that is another thing that we could look into crafting. All right, we're going to run this episode a little bit long because it's kind of a different episode. I may try and run each episode a little bit longer. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, the other thing is these guys. So the where the belts come together, there is the option to use these as splitters, whereas before there either wasn't the option in the previous version of the game or I just didn't know about it. Either way, there's an option now as we go forward to use these things as splitters. Let's see. How about the day-night cycle? I thought there was. I don't know what the L is. I thought there was going to be a way to keep it on. Oh, maybe that's lock. Do we want full on daylight or is that a little bright? It's not bad. Let's see what else we got. I'm guessing that L is lock. I don't like that. Yeah, I guess full daylight. Of course, as a picky player, I want something in between. Let's go full daylight until it gets crazy, annoying. I don't think it will. So what do we got going on here? Let's see. The end product of all of this is steel plates. And the fact that we're not seeing more steel plates come in here right now because the chest has room. The fact that we're not seeing more plates go in there is leads us to an obvious conclusion that the recipes have changed. So this is going to have to be reworked. Let's go ahead and click on these. Again, I'm going to be a little clumsy with keystrokes here, so bear with me. Steel plates. Steel ingots. Okay, that makes sense. Steel ingots are either dust through the arc smelter. I don't remember if we've made these yet. I don't think we have. Or I think this is what we been doing, right? Going through a blast furnace. There's the coke as a required ingredient. And iron ingots. Let's take a look. That part's fine. This part, oh, maybe I just need to pick a recipe. Copper blast furnace, steel ingots, coke, and iron ingots. Let's see, that may help there. But this is not feeding in iron ingots, obviously. These are turning out, oh no. Yeah, we got byproduct here to deal with. This one's going to be substantially different. Very, very substantially different. So what I might do, in fact, I don't think anything's going to happen here, right? What's going on here? Is anybody, are you doing stuff? You need iron ingots. You're not going to get iron ingots out of this mess. What are the other recipes you got? Okay. Iron dust, iron impure ore dust, 20 coke. That's not bad. Iron impure, iron dust, steel dust. Oh. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, these are all steel ingot recipes. Steel dust, iron impure ore dust. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay, I got the impure iron gravel. That's giving me impure ore dust. Oh, wait, that's giving me all the same. Iron impure ore dust. Right, so what's the issue? Nothing? I'm missing something here. No, that's the same material. Sorry about that. When I first looked, I thought it was two different materials here. Iron impure ore dust. I don't understand what the two little outputs are telling me. Unless this thing is really going to spit out something different. I see. What am I missing here? Why are there two? Iron impure ore dust, iron impure ore dust. What is the difference between these two? So you potentially get a bonus? Is that it? Let's pick the recipe and just see if it starts doing it. Coke and impure iron ore dust. Boom. Will you start working? Now that, in my unqualified opinion, seems like an unnecessary detail of whether it spits out an extra one or not. Right? I feel like I'm missing something obvious. This one says its output is full. May need to place these machines. Now, I'm not going to be too surprised if I run into like major bugs. Having just upgraded versions, kind of major upgrade. Not enough items. This guy wants more coke. Okay, maybe we're just waiting for our slow inserter. I guess I can get a little practice placing inserters since it's been a while. And for... Oh, what is that? In this setup too, like most of the rest of the setups that are currently placed, the other factories, like copper factory, the coke plant across the bridge, this steel production facility is meant to be kind of temporary, just to get us going. The coke facility over here and the power plant are not meant to be temporary. That's meant for us to be able to scale that up. I don't think there's more advanced recipes that we need to worry about for those two products. But steel, I know we don't have the optimal recipe. Same thing with the copper. So I'm not spending a whole lot of time overthinking it. So I'm just kind of slopping it together because I think this is temporary. So let's see. Is this guy producing? The copper blast furnace does look like it's producing. These guys are waiting. They're full output. So we can obviously run more furnaces. Like I said, I'm not against getting to better ratios. I just don't worry about them in the beginning. But clearly, these smelters here, this blast furnace is going to be the bottleneck on this line. Just waiting for this thing to smelt. I'm going to grab a sip of water. While we're waiting, let's pick another research. I got to get used to the zoom here. It's completely backwards from what I'm used to. Scrolling forward, away from me makes it smaller. Scrolling close to me makes it closer, I guess. Makes sense from a logic standpoint, but it's not what I'm used to. Atmospheric condensers. Single type storage. Oh yeah, this is new too. At least to me, right? I don't have this. So my understanding is these hold like a ton of stuff, these storage shelves. And they look kind of cool too. We'll see where and when we use them. But I definitely want to try them out. I don't know that I'll use them everywhere. Even if they're more efficient or hold more, I may still do a mix just for aesthetics. Assuming we still have the storage chests. But those are cool. We didn't have those in the last version, to my knowledge. Next level needs circuits. We're not going to be able to do that. What else looks interesting? I'm not sure how you're supposed to look at this tree. Like where you're supposed to start. Obviously, going up this direction, things get more complex. And then heading off to the right, it looks like things get more complex, right? More advanced materials. We got a bunch of stuff down here. Mist. I'm not sure what mist means. I don't know what this is. Unless that's just something that's now gone. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. All right, what else we got? What else we got? Jetpack. Let's research it. I probably can't even build it till I research it. Boom. Just talked about that. That's kind of a no-brainer. Jetpack Advanced is going to take advanced circuits. Flashlight. We can research that one next. That would be nice to have. But boy, being able to toggle those lights on to be on all the time, I really, really like that. I wish I would have known about that earlier. And thanks again to the person or persons. It may have been multiple people that suggested that tip, because that's going to come in super duper handy. All right, here's the flashlight. Let's get that one going. Like I said, screwdriver, I'll try it later. I don't see it as being urgent. Even the jetpack, to be honest, I'm probably not going to use it a whole lot. But I do want to try it. We got additional storage. I thought I already had the next level storage. Maybe I'm thinking about a different game. I'm thinking about Outpost Engineer or something where we just unlocked some higher level storage chests. This one, yeah, let's just hit it. So yeah, we want to, I'm just trying to think through goals here, but now we're getting towards the end of the episode. So this episode, what do? We just kind of took a tour of the facility. It looks like our basic circuits, that whole area is safe, doesn't need to be changed. There's a little inefficiency there by running kinetic energy through a Stirling engine to the atmospheric condenser over there, but it's just one. It's not a big deal. I'll tear that out later. I'm not worried about it. What else do we learn? Our coke production, that's going to kind of fall apart pretty quick if we don't get rid of that creosote. So that's a priority. In fact, maybe I'll write this down while I'm saying it so that I can remember for next episode. Yeah, we need to do the handle the creosote, right? That's going to be essential. For the power generation, I guess next episode we should look at that and just make sure those recipes are fine. I think that's the first thing we looked at in this episode. But those two things kind of need to be corrected sooner than later. Let's see. The steel we were just looking at, it looks like this is actually going to work, right? Right? Maybe not. Do I got to pick a recipe? What's this guy doing? He doesn't want to hammer steel ingots, apparently. Do I need to smelt this another level or something? I've got steel ingots. I want steel plates. How do I get steel plates? From steel ingots through an automatic hammer. So we have that. Why are we not getting the plates? Does this thing need a different power source, or is it out of power? I got no error messages here. What are we missing? Kinetic, 399 out of 399. What do you think is the issue here? You've got all kinds of steel ingots. You're an automatic hammer. Steel plates, 300 watts. Do I need to provide more power? Steel ingots through an automatic hammer. No other ingredients, but 300 watts gets me steel plates. What do you have? You got 339. I'm kind of puzzled why that's not working. Can I clear the inventory and just see what happens here? Missing something obvious, right? 339 kinetic. That says it needs 300 kinetic, right? 300 watts kinetic. What is that 15, though? Does that mean something to me? Kinetic 15. Six seconds and steel plates. I didn't see a recipe here. Not sure why that one's not working. Why would this not work? Okay, recipes. Oh, that's fine, obviously. Center clicker R. Steel ingots. What do you say? What do you say, buddy? Can I pull this up? You know what I've forgotten how to do is deconstruct. Bear with me here. All right, this guy's loading up with kinetic. All right, well, I guess I'm going to try and figure out what the issue is here between episodes. 99% of the time, it's something obvious, but I can't figure it out right now. But yeah, we'll clean up some more of these recipes. I guess while we're here on the steel issue, the steel little factory here, we'll try and get the steel plates going. I have a feeling we're just about there. I may solve it between episodes. Then I think top of the next episode, let's go figure out what we got to do to get rid of that creosote. I know someone provided a tip on that. I may check that out, or may try to actually figure it out myself as well, because there's some fun to be had doing that. But yeah, I'm not sure why we're not getting our steel plates. But we'll pick it up next episode. For now, this is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. If you've stuck with the Evospace series this long, I really appreciate it. It looks like we're going to be okay. There's a little bit of rework to do, but I don't see it being that bad. We weren't that far along in the factory, so we don't have that much stuff to rework. But then we got some cool new things that we can try. So very cool. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.